Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and it's been a while since I've done a show for my blog talk, for my YouTube channel. What I'm getting ready to share right now has already taken place on my YouTube channel, on my blog talk radio channel, and I just feel that it is deep enough that it needs to be recorded this way, for me to come back to it when I need to as well. And so we're just going to do the cards that came up, beloveds. And so with my Blog Talk Radio show, I begin each show with a card from the Medicine Woman Inner Guidebook. The card that came forth this time was the Seven of Bowls. And I'm just going to get right into it, beloveds. Seven of Bowls swept away. This is the prayer. Time has brought me ever deeper into relationship with my true love partner. More and more, Great Spirit, we realize that this is you. In each of us you live and manifest your beauty. Our blessings are great, but we know there is much ahead for us as we strive ever more to know your presence in us. In offering our wholeness to each other, we begin to realize your holiness and become one with it. In all of our dreams, we see that we desire only complete union with you. Every pleasure we perceive is an invitation to come into your greatness of being. Let us not become lost in the manifest form of you, but be ever inspired by it to continue on your path. And this is the lesson of the card, beloveds. The force overpowers you. You are swept away in an ocean of sensation. Visions totally inspire you. This is a peak experience. You may have to increase your tolerance for bliss. Once again, allow. Let yourself feel the happiness without fear. The wave may subside, but it will rise again. The illusion is that all future problems are solved by the wave of love you feel. No, this wave has come because you were complete with your past. You fully let go and went ahead. You tied up loose ends and let yourself take some action on your own behalf. When you are current, the current is strong. So ride this wave, enjoy it, live full of grace, but appreciate, and be here now. Keep your eye on the present and continue to give yourself permission to be fully yourself. You did not earn this experience by self-denial. You may deserve it, in your opinion, to balance a previous period of self-denial, but that is not how you got it. You got it by being you. You had nothing to lose at the time, so you let yourself be. Now, continue to live that fully. Be whole. Do not start putting aside parts of yourself for fear that they might threaten this wonderful feeling. The feeling is always waiting in the ethers to encompass you when you are courageous enough to be absolutely who you are in the moment. This is an exciting time. Go with it. And that is that card from the Medicine Woman Guidebook. And what I did today was I pulled all the cards that were used, that came up in the show. And the show's title is Recognizing the Human Family Collective through Spiritual Conscious Awareness. And so what I did, beloveds, was I brought all the cards forward into this video. And the last card that I read was pulled today. It was not pulled or selected for the Blog Talk Radio show. So it is a special edition to today's show, and I was told to save it for last. So the next card that came forth in the Blog Talk Radio show was Zebra. Zebra. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Whenever you venture into unfamiliar territory, it's quite natural to feel some trepidation. Your mind can create all sorts of scenarios as to what can go wrong. Doubts and uncertainties may arise, and the path can seem fraught with challenges and sometimes even danger. You may find yourself stuck at times, fearful about moving ahead, yet much of what we label as fear isn't actually fear. True fear is vital, instinctual response to any life-threatening situation, and is triggered not only by circumstances or events, but even more so by what you think about those circumstances or events. So stay relaxed, yet vigilant, trusting that nothing can truly harm you and that your body will provide sensory information if there is any actual danger. If there truly is any threat, then your instincts will tell you what to do. Whenever you feel an exaggerated sense of fear triggered mainly by your thoughts, one that has little or no basis in reality, take a few slow, deep breaths. Call upon spirit helpers who provide their help and protection before. Reach out to close friends or family members for reassurance and to help you feel grounded and centered. Recall those times in the past when you did feel frightened or were endangered and not only survived, but came through intact. You can also relabel fear and instead call it excitement, as the two emotions are very similar in the way they manifest in the body. Most of all, trust your spirit guides, your instincts, and your friends to watch out for you. Associations with the zebra are protection, guardianship, alertness, kind-heartedness, compassion, individuality, compromise, challenge, analysis, illusion, magic, sure-footedness, confidence, changes, and agility. And once again, this is that card, beloveds. Now, the next card, and I don't know if I'm doing these in the order that they came up on the show, but I'm doing it how they are today. The next card, beloveds, is... Okay, I'm being told to save this one. Okay. The next card, then. Journey of Love from the... This card is from the Journey of Love deck by Elena Fairchild. It is number 1, and it is called Heart Fire. And I want to give a shout out to Tilly's Tarot, because I found this deck through her, and I just loved it. I love poetry. I write poetry, so the way this deck was presented and the beautiful images kind of just called me, and I had to get it. So this is the very first card of the deck, and it's called Heart Fire. Passion is igniting within you. It is not time when things will remain still. Even if the challenge is only sensed as a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things, even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride waves of passion through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness. bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust in its presence. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more. It is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all that is. This oracle brings a message to you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you are feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to your life. Life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams, like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part. Our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude, I offer prayer with thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw, and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. And that is the beauty of Heartfire, this first card. And beloveds, if you can just bear witness and observe the correlation, the synchronization, the relativity of all the cards. We have water, we have fire, we have the heart, we have what I call the Holy Spirit. All of this is necessary for your spiritual awakening, for expanding your spiritual knowing of yourself, not just as an individual, but as an aspect, a unique individual aspect of the human collective here on earth at this particular time. And beloveds, as you can see, there are many things that are manifesting in these end times. And those who are spiritually aware are able to grasp the energy that is flowing and to see what is presenting itself and how it is presenting itself and how it's almost like being a cosmic midwife, and you're giving birth to a new era, to a new age, to a new world, to new human beings. And there's so many things to bear witness to, observe, and be vigilant over in the natural process of this birthing momentum that is taking place. And so we're being given a lot of imagery of waves. And I want you to understand riding the waves, using the waves as measuring contractions and releasing. I want you to understand riding the waves as something as inhaling and exhaling. I want you to be able to center yourself in the stillness of this knowing, in the chaos of all that surrounds everything else, that surrounds with the minds and the thoughts and the feelings about everything else that is taking place. Try to hold back your judgment against others and against yourself. Extend the grace that you yourself receive. And understand that everyone is growing and everyone is expanding. And some are doing that positively, and some are doing it at a, I don't want to use the word negative, but they are descending instead of ascending. And that is the natural course for them. That is their karmic course. And there is no intervening or moving and changing these waves on behalf of another. They have to go through them themselves. The waves have to occur for everyone. That is part of the human collective. We're all going through this at this particular time. And it is manifesting in many different ways for us. Now, the next card that came forth, beloveds, was Water Dog. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Page 47. And I didn't get the card, but it shows you here. Water Dog. Again, notice the elementals, the elements that water and fire, beloveds. Water and fire. And this is this card. And it is about metamorphosis. And as you know, if you've been following me on Facebook, metamorphosis has been a core value topic for this year of 2023. Everything is about metamorphosis. Everything is about coming into that, being that caterpillar that prepares and it's crawling on its little belly, creating this chrysalis, liquefying, dying inside that chrysalis, and being reborn as a butterfly, and breaking forth from that chrysalis material, shell, in your own time and timing, on your own strength. Okay? So that you can have wings to fly. This, again, is card number 10. It's Water Dog Metamorphosis, and it's taken from the 2013 Oracle, Ancient Keys to the 2012 Awakening. Water Dog, the salamander, is a beautiful creature. He tells you that you are undergoing metamorphosis and moving from one stage to the next. He can help you process pain or loss and minimize any sort of suffering. Life must evolve, adapt, and readapt. This inner change depends entirely on you. Only you can determine the direction. But Water Dog leads you on a journey to your deepest understanding and guides you through profound shifts of consciousness. He is the master teacher of the art of metamorphosis. There is no better instructor than lost alchemy, than Water Dog. I want you to pay very close attention to that huge gem, beloveds. Okay? Lost alchemy is what we're being assisted and guided to help find, to help reimagine, to help rebirth, to use, to reassign, to as a resolution for many things. Alchemy is a very old, ancient art and knowledge and way of understanding oneself and the universe, the cosmic makeup of matter itself. And so Water Dog is here to guide us on this journey, riding this wave. And again, beloveds, the alchemy of fire and water is very profound. And you're always going to find that combination when it comes to the birthing aspects of different things, being reborn, being baptized anew, being anointed, coming from one way and going forth into a new way. Okay? So, there's no better instructor of this lost alchemy than Water Dog. Water Dog is the child of our closest stars and the twin brother of the plumed serpent. Sun was his father, and Moon was his mother. Venus, his aunt, was responsible for teaching him the mystical powers of metamorphosis. Beloved, Venus has been coming up quite a lot. Venus has a lot to do with this cycle and season of September itself. The constellations, the movements within the heavens. Venus is a heavy influencer right now. And those, I would ask you to pay attention to Venus in your chart, astrology chart, your birth chart, and see how she's influencing you, see what she's teaching you, see where she's guiding you, see what she's pointing to, and be able to instinctually and intuitively be aware of her when she's rising, when you feel that energy. Learn to see these energies distinctly. Learn to recognize them and identify them, just as you know the different names of your faces or family members. You should begin to know these different energies as well, because they are your family members as well. And this is what this whole show was about, recognizing the human family collective through spiritual conscious awareness. This did not come up in the Blog Talk Radio show. If you want to see what came up in the Blog Talk Radio show, I advise you to go check that out as well, because there were many jewels dropped there. It was very spirit-led. There was a lot that came forth, poured forth, gushed forth. I'll leave the link in the below description. I'll remember to do that. Let's keep going, beloveds. Water Dog, to honor his Venusian teacher, mixes together the process of involution and evolution and transforms them into spiritual goal, the goal of wisdom. So we're being told to understand the alchemy of wisdom, the discernment that goes into creating wisdom, what you have had to use as a foundation or core, what you've had to add and subtract from it, the elements, the feelings, the thoughts, the beings, the places. All of this, beloveds, all of this is ancient. And once again, we're being invited to partake at the table of cosmic wisdom as a human collective, spiritual human collective. And in order to do that, we have to recognize who we are. In order to be present and be present at the seat, you have to have this frequency and spectrum about yourself. You have to be able to reach it, which means you have to have let go of a lot of your traumatic past that has been generated and regenerated throughout the genetics of your bloodline and also throughout the history of the entire world. and the entire universe and galaxy itself, beloveds. You are a receiver of all of this wisdom. And now it is time for you to utilize it and alchemize it and to give birth to something new, to help do that, and to be present and not so worried about the things that you see taking place and falling away from this three-dimensional world that we were born into and that we believed was the only reality based on the stories, the tellings, the teachings of the way that they were interpreted, basically chewed up and fed to us for us to consume. And so now we're able to look at things from a higher perspective, a different consciousness, beloveds. A consciousness that is able to discern from with wisdom and then to expand spiritually to the realms of unlimited, not just finite and fixed limitations, but to the unlimited realms. Okay, let me keep going. Water Dog, to honor the Venusian teacher, mixes together the process of involution and evolution. Again, this is the inside and the outside meeting. This is the shadow and the light. This is the dark and the light. This is the good and the evil of you coming together in a reconciliation in a way that is truly redeeming and allows you and affords you the ability to be reborn in a higher frequency and spectrum of your own spiritual divinity. And transforms them into spiritual gold, the goal of wisdom. He transits from suffering to a continual state of bliss that only the highest avatars attain. He crawls into the mind and suspends his life functions, accepting whatever comes, willing himself to be changed. When the dark rains begin to fall, he emerges from his confinement, vitally renewed. And beloveds, if you allow yourself to actually see this, I'm going to keep going. Salamander spirit can align you with the miraculous metamorphosis transpiring on the planet. Old laws of time and space are collapsing. Old structures of thoughts are being dismantled, brick by doctrinal brick. New systems of belief are replacing old ones. Gateways to spirit realms are thrown open. Salamander holds the alchemical keys to alter the evil under our present sun. Again, as I was reading this, beloveds, I saw Salamander descending down into the womb of the earth, okay, in one form, and being changed, metamorphing alchemically through that womb, through the nourishment of that womb, through the changes that are taking place, almost like Frankenstein being hit with that electricity, the monster Frankenstein, not Frankenstein himself, being hit with that electricity and the alchemy within the body being synergized and singed and changed and turned into something else, rejuvenating life, bringing back to life that which was dead, almost like what Isis did with Osiris. Isis came up a lot in the previous Blog Talk Radio show, and she'll come up again in this next card that I was told to read after this one. So, let's keep going, beloveds. Salamander has a heart of fire. He represents spiritual courage and the courage to allow his state of being to be totally reinvented. Understand that we began this calling it water dog, and now we're calling it salamander, and it now has a heart of fire. He represents spiritual courage and the courage to allow his state of being to be totally reinvented. Ceremonies led by priestesses called on the magic powers of salamander. 9 secret rites led one back into the genesis of life. Salamander, the child of the sun and moon, facilitated this passage. Enlist Water Dog to help you find the elemental spark of life. With that spark, initiate the changes you need to make. And beloveds, I want to a ritual will come up in the next card, but I want to also let you know that you can ritualistically, when you light a candle, say a prayer. Say what you want. Say what you want as an increase. You want to increase your wisdom. Light that candle. Look at that fire. Give gratitude for the grace of spirit energy. And just leave it there. And understand that that is you working through faith, creating sacred space for faith, creating sacred space for the Holy Spirit to land. Okay? You're giving her room. You're giving her access. You're opening up. And you're saying, do it in your height, in the highest good. So that takes you and your heart's desires out of the picture. And it allows the highest to take action on your behalf. The same thing with getting in the tub, getting in the shower. Anytime you're light a candle and get into the water. However you do it, even if you're just washing your hands, beloveds, bring that presence. Ask for the wisdom. Ask for the wisdom of discernment. Ask for the revelations. And ask for the wisdom to discern the revelations through the signs and the symbols and the language that is being spoken to you today in these modern times that are changing. And be at peace with the process. Be at peace with the steps. There is no way to do it wrong, beloveds. When your heart, the intention is in your heart. It is your passion, as that other card said, from the passion of the heart. It is what beats. It is what is the frequency and spectrums that emanates and radiates from your presence, from your being. And it is expanding as you grow in the knowledge of who you are as a spiritual human being, individually, an aspect of the human collective, rare and unique. So it's not about someone else understanding you or knowing you or even seeing you or seeing your growth or agreeing with what you see. That's not how this works. Salamander, mud dog, does it alone in solitude. Okay? And when I was reading this earlier, what I saw again was the descent into the earth, the mud, into the muck, okay? And lightning hitting that muck and charging the whole biodynamic frequency of the salamander, really charging it up so that it almost glowed by itself from the energies that it was connecting with. Okay, and understanding that that is the rejuvenation process. You have to reunite in order to get that reunion and that rejuvification process going. Okay, let's get into it. Enlist Water Dog to help you find the elemental spark of life. With that spark, initiate the changes you need to make. Water Dog is able to bring relief to mental strains and discomfort. You may not be able to right wrongs, but you will be able to tolerate them. You will be able to remix and reshape your feelings. Much of the negative impact of a given situation can be negated now with Water Dog's energy. Selecting Water Dog, you are given powers to protect yourself against the daily bludgeoning and shocks of our times. When you feel yourself aghast at the barbarism and harshness of human struggle, Water Dog can help you. He counsels you to take resolve and use his morphic power. He promises to rejuvenate you and restore your mental harmony. Let your quest for peace and happiness enliven your spirit. Walk the salamander path. So, beloveds, we're being told here to, as you seek peace, don't let the chaos, don't let the violence, don't let the barbarism, don't let the violence, don't let the barbarity, don't let the demonic going ons strike fear into your heart so that you are paralyzed, frozen. Connect with salamander on a spiritual level and take the charge and be rejuvenated. Know that everything that is happening in divine order. Okay? You don't surprise God. You don't surprise the Great Spirit. Okay? And there is nothing that the Holy Spirit cannot work through. So understand that and be at peace with no matter how much stuff you see going on. And there's a lot right now. There's a lot because there is spiritual warfare going on. And in this spiritual warfare, the art of war is to make you fear. If fear can be seeded and take root in you, you've already lost before you even begin. Because that fear won't let anything else grow. So you have to use that fire in your heart to burn up that fear. But understand the fear is instinctual. But don't let it overtake you. Use the energy of fear to work out your faith. Remember, there is no testimony without being tested. Okay? Let your quest for peace and happiness enliven your spirit. Walk the salamander path. People get locked from the inside looking out, and there is no way to make necessary changes because there is no insight into the true situation. So you got to know the truth of the situation, not the perpetuated lies that have been handed down. You cannot put your faith in man. Man lies to his own benefit, to his own gain, for his own glory. That which is spiritual, it will not lie to you. It will show you the truth of the matter. Because the truth, whether it's not about right or wrong, up or down, sideways or left or right, it's just the truth. It just is what it is. Without form or without formulated opinion. This is where you want to start hanging out at. This is the kind of frequency and spectrum that you want to expand your own being. This is what you want to invite to sit down with you, to sit with you in your solitude, to teach you revelations, to show you things, to explain things to you from the aspect of cosmic truth. We became imprisoned by our judgments and by our false projections. We make problems and difficulties for ourselves and create enemies where none exist. We create obstacles when we think we can only behave and relate to the world according to our habituated patterns. Salamander's genius is to make you know yourself, to make you see with your burst eyes what you are doing. It is not them, it is you. With this realization, the holding pattern is over. You no longer have to accept the status quo. You must change. Find the flowing, tranquil waters carrying you to your perfect spiritual metamorphosis. Make the decision to go with the flow. Water Dog knows when the waters of earth are targeted. So be aware and keep in harmony with water. How do you do that? Through the cycles of the moon, beloveds. That's where the astrology, that's where the wisdom of the astrology comes in. That's where the phases of the moons and the tides and the equinoxes and the cycles and the seasons, to be aligned with this information, to be aligned with this energy and the spirit guides that guide and guard these entryways. You need to have the knowledge. And in order to have the knowledge, you have to get rid of so many of your trauma, your attachments to your beliefs, your addictions, the things that you think you need as a human being. And recognize that before you are a human being, you are incarnated spirit. And that incarnated spirit is animated just like a newborn infant. It observes everything. It knows everything. It watches, it accepts everything. And that's where you want to be. Water Dog knows when the water of earth are targeted. So be aware and keep in harmony with water. You came here in the water of the womb. Understand the echo, location, sound. Understand the weightlessness and the gravity of things. When water comes into the picture. Again, this is alchemy, beloveds. Make sure you are not dehydrated. Water stimulates dreaming and returns lost memories. Before you go to bed, make sure you drink water. Because what you don't get consciously, you can get unconsciously. You can supplement yourself in these ways. If you learn to care for your body in these ways. These are ancient, ancient ways that are rising back up into our spiritual conscious awareness to help us into the next age, beloveds. Just like the cavemen from the, what? The different types of cavemen morphed into the Homo sapien. And now the Homo sapien is morphing into the, I think it's called the Homo spiritus, Homo noetus, something like that. But we are evolving, beloveds. And as you know, not everybody makes it through that. Water stimulates dreaming and returns lost memories. Perhaps you should visit a sacred spring, waterfall, or sea note. You were born of original water. So let Salamander lead you back to that original reservoir. Salamander teaches that we can chant and pray over water and bring it to its pristine state. Dr. Imaro EMRU did a study on speaking to water and how the energy of even the phrases of the words themselves change the structure of crystallized water. So understand what's being said to you. Again, this is alchemy, beloveds. Water Dog card has come to help you do exactly that. Choose not to suffer. Don't make it difficult. Choose not to struggle and transition away from constraints. Water Dog asks you why you continue to be so limited in your vision when you can emerge to new levels of created potential. To do this, you need only to be true to your unique self. Let the beautiful salamander guide you. Go through that dark and hidden passageway to a complete metamorphosis. Salamander has come to infuse you with new life. You've got to get into the mud and you've got to get messy, beloveds. Birth, death, and rebirth is messy. It's very messy. It's very bloody. It takes you from one way of knowing and being and receiving into another. Just like that caterpillar into that butterfly. Just like this water dog into the salamander, fire salamander. So that's that card. And let's get into the next card, beloveds. The next card is from the Isis Oracle by Elena Fairchild. And the card is the Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Look at those shapes. Look at the symmetry. Understand that this is a deepness of its own. And let's get into it. Energetic stabilizations with the buckle of the beloved. Each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. Again, beloveds, this all came forth Sunday in a Blog Talk radio show, and I just felt so moved to do it through a video and share the cards on YouTube. And so that's why it's repeating. And some things are coming forth that did not come forth on the Blog Talk Radio show. So here we go, beloveds. And again, spiritual blueprints. Again, we're dealing with recognizing the human family collective through spiritual conscious awareness. See how that is interwoven throughout all of this, and how these cards and this wisdom all came forth to speak on this particular topic in the way that it did. Okay? You are under the spiritual guidance and protection of the divine feminine. Part of your high destiny this lifetime is to heal and flourish through the divine feminine in her many forms, especially in those forms that truly resonate and hold meaning for you. This healing will happen on your personal path and may well be part of the work that you offer in service to the world, which may be simply in how you live your life. That is how that is working out for me. I have many times throughout, I would say these past 15 years or so, tried to set up a business where I was either teaching rebirthing or speaking about rebirthing. I signed up to be a doula. That wasn't it. I signed up to be a life coach. That wasn't it. There's so many different other things that called to me that I thought I was meant to put into practice to be as a career or as a job. None of those things manifested in that way. What manifested is me doing this, just like I'm doing it now, and understanding that this is what I love to do, just in the way, in the manner that I'm doing it, unscheduled, unprincipled, totally spirit-led, and just let it go, let it fly, and leave it. It's not about how many people are listening to it. It's not about keeping a tab and a tally. It's not about a bottom line. It's not about, oh, you got to do better to bring in this and do that. And that's not my purpose. Although in the beginning I thought that was the teaching. You know, this is what you have to do with this, Valerie. And it never worked out that way. And as I was sharing, there were so many people coming in and gleaning what I was sharing and then using it and adding to it and taking away from it and making it theirs. And I got to the point where I'm like, okay, just do that and it's fine, because it's getting out there and I don't seem to be able to, I'm not called to present it in a particular fashion as far as traditional. I'm totally outside the box, and it's totally outside the box how it's manifesting, growing, taking roots from the seeds that I just started throwing when I simply became known as Mother with Wisdom. So it's a beautiful process. This oracle brings special indication that your soul is braiding or twining with the divine feminine energies in a particular form. For some, that will be a specific goddess, and the energetic process will often be strong and deep. For me, that goddess has always been Inanna. That's who very first came to me. And I didn't know I was raised Jehovah's Witness. So goddess thinking, religion, doctrine, so forth was totally alien and foreign to me. But as I began doing my own research and praying revelations, and so many different things began opening up to me, and it began making sense to me from a bloodline perspective, from a genetic perspective, from a deeply spiritual, ancient perspective. And everything started falling into place. And as things start falling into place, things start falling out of place. And those things that were falling out of place were not necessarily gentle. That was not a gentle transaction or experience. A lot of times it was climactic and earth shattering and full of horrific things that caused all kind of fear, so that I had to let go of every aspect of me that I was holding on to in order to fully receive spirit and let everything be spirit, and let nothing be me. Let the fear not be mine, let the energy not be mine, the hate, the regret, the anger, the loss, the sadness. Let none of that be. Let me be empty of all that and just let me be spirit. And I began to recognize that is the sweet spot. That is where you can find your grace. That is where you can sit still in a hurricane, in a tornado, in a whirlwind, in a volcano, and be at total peace. Let's keep going, beloveds. And let me just say this, because some people think that, or they assume that once you find this nirvana, this little piece of heaven, this peace, this way, that it's something that, oh, you never have to worry about anything ever again. No, that's not the way it works. You have to be vigilant in order to maintain it. And you have to understand that there are going to be many phases of the waters coming at you, and the fires, types of fires coming at you. And you're going to need to be able to walk through them and ride those waves, honey, by being one with it and not being overcome by it. And that requires a stillness on your part. And that stillness is simply letting go of your identity of who you think you are as just a human being and not a spiritual being. Because we've been fed and told that we're only human beings and that we're limited. And we have bought into that so much that we have created a 3D world that anything outside of that is considered supernatural or paranormal. But even that supernatural and paranormal is within your realm of being a spiritual being. You've just got to make peace with that. Let's keep going and see how we're supposed to do that, beloved. This oracle brings special indication that your soul is braiding or twining with the divine feminine energies in a particular form. For some, that will be a specific goddess. The energetic process will often be strong and deep. The initiate will feel as if they are integrating the part of this goddess that is not just in them, but is part of their own consciousness. It is a deeply personal, spiritually powerful, and beautiful growth experience for the soul. This process does not make you lose your individuality. It is happening in a genuine way. You will not believe yourself to be the goddess in question. You will instead experience her as part of your own being, and your being as a part of her. You will not cease to exist as an individual light, and yet you will have grown into the divine communion with the sacred divine feminine. That is the goal, beloveds. That is the purpose. That is as the first card said, the relationship. That's the reuniting. That's the masculine God the Father with the divine feminine God the Mother, and becoming God the Child. Okay? And knowing that. And knowing that in a way that it has been represented to us as the Christ consciousness of ancient times, before religion, before dogma, before doctrine, before the word Christian. Okay? That this was the sacred alchemy. That this was the way, the truth, and the light. Of the truth and the light. It was not about being possessed by another spirit or a higher or lower spirit. It was about accessing the wisdom, discerning the wisdom. Using that wisdom is just like when you're going to work in the morning and you're questioning yourself. Did you turn off all the lights? Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? That's that voice. That's how that relationship is. It's a guiding mechanism. It's a mechanism that's going to speak to you, to ask you. And so if it's in a voice, if it's in images, if it's in the guise of a guardian, a form of a guardian or guide, however it comes to you, first and foremost, pray to make sure that it is what it says it is, that it is of you, and that it is in your highest interest. Keep your spiritual magnetic field pure as you can. You do that by not lying. You do that by the morality that you keep. You do that by being the integrity that you coexist with, the world with. This is how you keep your magnetic field, your aura, your auric field pure. This is how you draw higher spiritual energy to you, and that higher spiritual energy is going to block out lower spiritual energy that has no business there, because it might be attracted to the light, but there's no room for it to attach itself to you, because you're burning at such a higher energy state or rate that it cannot attach to you, that it cannot stick to you, that it cannot keep playing with your mind and coming up in your thoughts and feelings. Okay? It cannot influence you. For others, there will be a sense of the divine feminine in many forms and faces, and you will enjoy her variety and vastness as you grow spiritually. You will sense a particular goddess so much as you feel a deepening soul connection, an awakening to the divine principle, which is the animating force behind all goddess energies. All goddess energies comes with a story. All goddess stories are about the divine feminine principle. Every aspect of it, from the darkest, deepest shadow to the highest, brightest light. Okay? And you have to understand the aspects of them all. And all of those aspects are within you. And you have to see which stories resonate to your own human experience, your own human story the most, which resonates with you. And you have to understand that in expanding spiritual conscious awareness through the human collective, you are adding on to their story. You are working their story out. You are pushing it forward. You are reliving it. You are reacting it. You are broadening it out for the next generations who are going to be using the Akashic records, the downloads, the information of evolving, evolutionary, in evolutionary ways, beloveds. Each of us has a part to play in this. That is what the diversity is all about. That is why we're not to judge. You are not to judge. You're not to judge these goddesses, whether you feel that they are sluts, whores, or whatever else. That's not your judgment call to make. Whether you feel they are the deepest, darkest, scariest, most violent, whatever your feelings and thoughts, do not judge. Use the discernment of the divine feminine principle that is being carried out by this goddess. Okay? And understand why it's symbolically meaningful to you. Look at the cycle and seasons that are taking place, not only in the heavens, but within your own being, your own awareness, your own age, your own maturing, your own growing. For still others, there will simply be a knowing that love for the divine feminine, whether a man or a woman, is a key part of your spiritual journey this lifetime. That is your important spiritual task, to just love her and be loved by her, living with honor and respect for the body, the earth, and being committed to grow in conscious awareness as to how to best express that love and respect in a genuinely healing way. Beloveds, not everyone is called to be a high priestess who sacrifices regular interaction and family and so forth and so on because of her duties to worship the divine goddess. Not everyone is in the ritualistic way of supporting the high priestess. Some people will be growing the fruit. Some people will be washing the clothes. Some people will be making sure everything is going smoothly. These are tiers. These are layers. These are levels. Not everyone is called to a certain level. Find out which one calls you and be present in that in a genuinely healing way. Whether you feel the connection with an individual goddess or the divine feminine more holistically as your soul braids or twines with her, you will feel your awareness and consciousness of your own divine feminine nature become stronger, more integrated, and more balanced part of your life and sense of self. The body will also be integrating this shift in your soul as you work with the feminine energies, helps bring body and soul light together, blending the physical and inner worlds of light together until they until they began to feel very connected and harmonized. Eventually, as this process continues, when you feel your body, you will feel your soul light present there. There will be no distinction between your soul and your body. And it is a magnificent, luminous, joyful state of wonder to embody. People will be asking you what you will have been doing to have such a beautiful inner glow. This card, this is a girdle. This is what you gird your loins with. This is what you tie around you. As I was looking at this when I first pulled it, the colors and the aspects of so many different aspects of it reminded me of menses, a woman's period, menstruation, the blood. I wore pads. It reminds me of soaked pads in form. The person. There's a lot there, beloveds. There's a lot there. Let's keep going. As an initiate of the divine feminine, you are offered a sacred tool to assist you in integrating and honoring her energies for your own benefit and for the benefit of the human collective. This tool will help your soul blend with the divine feminine in higher vibration, and this in turn will naturally draw body and soul into deeper connection and harmony. You are invited to experience this sacred tool for yourself by calling upon the sacred healing and protection of the knot of Isis. Beloveds, once again, this is metamorphosis. This is the assistance through metamorphosis, through change. The knot or buckle of Isis protects, guides, and stabilizes your energy field whilst it is in transition from one state to another. It is especially useful for spiritual growth with the feminine energies because they are intimately related to the body and the relationship between the soul and body, creating light within the body, connecting soul and body as one conscious, harmonious, illuminated being. So, beloveds, back to the title of this: recognizing the human family collective through spiritual conscious awareness, through the expansion of your spiritual conscious awareness, beloveds. So this is about, again, expanding. It's about growing spiritually. The knot of Isis is like a container that holds you together whilst inside in a gentle way. You fall apart enough that you can be reorganized, restructured, and reformed within the sacred container of the sacred knot, just like the coming together of a sperm and the seed, the ovary, an egg from the ovary, and it all coming together, being restructured cellular into an infant, from an embryo into an infant, and being held and contained in that womb space. That's what the knot of Isis does for you spiritually. The knot of Isis is like a container that holds you together whilst inside, in a gentle way. Inside of what? We're inside the earth. We're inside this 3D realm. We're inside this conscious state of awareness that we're in right now. Okay, that is expanding, that is getting ready to change. That parts are dying, that parts are being reborn. Okay, the parts will be extinct, that new parts of it will come that we have never known. So there's a lot going on whilst inside. In a gentle way, you will fall apart enough that you can be reorganized, restructured, and reformed within the sacred container of the sacred knot. Once you are stable in your new soul structure, the knot is no longer needed until the next transition point in your relationship between your body of growing light and your soul as they become more fully united as one. Once again, tie that pad to your body. Hold on 1 second. Okay, beloveds. There you go. My battery was running low, so I had to plug in my charger. So let's get back into it. The knot of Isis or buckle of Isis protects, guides, stabilizes your energy field while it is in transition from one state to another. And I want you to understand, when a woman's monthly is coming, that is a lunar cycle. It is 28 days is the average cycle, and it's based upon that. And during that time, her lining is shedding, and that's where the blood is coming from, and it comes out of the vagina. Comes onto, in the old days anyway, it came onto a rag or a pad. Okay, and that rag or pad was tied into place. Kept there in order to catch the blood. Many of those women use that blood or whatever to put back into the ground, and they did many things with it that we don't do nowadays. And we don't realize the purification and how women who are able to do that help the ground and help the food that grows by imparting the genetic messages to the plants, that the animals around that area, the local area, get. It's all localized for community, family, neighborhood. It was all done for a reason, beloveds. That was the human community at that time, and we've got to get back to that and get away from the commercialized, so forth and so on. But let's get deeper into this. The knot of Isis is like a container that holds you together whilst inside in a gentle way. You fall apart enough that you can be reorganized, restructured, and reformed within the sacred container of the sacred knot. Beloveds, this seems to be keep repeating for a reason. Please pay attention to it. Once you are stable in your new soul structure, the knot is no longer needed until the next transition point of your relationship between your body of growing light and your soul as they become more fully united as one. You may call for the knot of Isis as a symbol that you visualize, or an energetic support structure that you may not perceive directly but feel in effect, a sense of being held safe and firm to the perfect degree. Anytime you need this, you can do the ritual that follows or the simple invocation beneath it, as long as it is prefaced with in unconditional love. You shall be supported in exactly the way that best serves you. Because you are integrating high-level vibrational energies, rest and meditation, ocean swims, and time in nature, as well as working with pyramids of light and crystal can assist with this soul twining process now too. Listen to your body, soul, as it grows with divine feminine wisdom, and trust that she will guide you, whether man or woman, deeper into your own healing, which benefits us all. This oracle comes as clear confirmation that you are integrating high level vibrational energy. If you have been wondering if your dreams, intuitions, goddess related meditations, and communications are genuine, then this oracle serves as confirmation. If you have pulled the Lady of Stars cards along with the oracle of the Knot of Isis, the high vibrational energy that you are accessing has a celestial quality of a highly advanced spiritual civilization as well. It will have a stellar non-human quality that is loving, wise, and free of fear. If you drew the oracle of the High Priestess as well as the Knot of Isis, then the new energy of the divine feminine that is being integrated by your body and soul at this time will form a significant element of your unfolding life path and spiritual destiny on this planet in future. Beloveds, again, and I remember saying this in the Blog Talk radio show, that this card came forth, and those other two cards, you can get them and Google them, and you can meditate upon them and the meaning that they have, the revelations that they have for you. Those cards were Lady of the Stars and Oracle of the High Priestess, as well as Knot of Isis. We are dealing strictly with Knot of Isis. This is the ritual for the Knot of Isis. You may like to start with the incantation of the Knot of Isis below and then continue. Close your eyes and imagine that you are being rocked gently in a vibrant red cradle that feels safe and stable, neither too small nor too large. It is just the right size, shape, and movement for you to feel perfectly comfortable. The cradle radiates the most beautiful red you have ever seen or felt, vibrant and glowing, and in it you feel safe, sacred, and loved. Where in it you can grow, and magically the cradle grows as you do so. It is always the perfect shape and size for you. Allow yourself to grow as large as you like. Your energy field growing, pulsing, and expanding with light and strength, with divine goddess energies, until you feel as large, strong, and potent as is right for you at this time. At all times, the cradle holds you perfectly. This cradle is a symbol for the Knot of Isis, and you are held. Stay with the feeling of this for as long as necessary, and then say, in all ways I am held and safe as I grow strong and take my place in my high spiritual destiny for the benefit of all humanity. The Knot of Isis supports me in love and light, and of my own free will, so be it. When you are ready, just open your eyes. And beloveds, just hold for one moment, because I want you to see something that as I was reading that surfaced as it was speaking about the color red. What is Water Dog digging into? It's digging into the color red. That has a lot of significance, beloveds. That has so much significance. From the stars to the red of the womb, where transformation holds. This is invoking the Knot of Isis, You can say this incantation to assist you with any energies, fluctuations, and their symptoms, such as headaches, problems regulating body temperature after energy work, and times when you sense something is happening within your own body and just want additional support. It is useful at the beginning of the healing visualization, too. In unconditional love, I call forth this Isis knot. I am held in love like a babe in a cot. The buckle of the beloved has me secure, as my energy field now does mature. The goddess within my body and soul, the knot of Isis, helps me grow whole. And that is that card, beloveds. And now we're getting to the end. And these were the cards that came up for the Blog Talk Radio show. This card, I was told to get all the Arcana cards and shuffle them and pray and then pull a card. The card that came forth is 1, resources. Now this is the deepest of cards. And as you can see, that is the card selected for the cover of this book. And I'm going to just get into it, beloveds. And remember remember the topic of the show. Recognize the human family collective through expanding spiritual conscious awareness. Resources. 1, number and meaning. 1, I am. Traditional name. This is the Magician card in the regular tarot deck. Medicine woman energy. The resourceful one, using the tools at hand. Affirmations. I am a resource of the eternally creating and sustaining spirit of life. All that I need to carry out the divine plan is before me. That has such an impact on me, beloveds. Like I said, I've been looking at how do I make a career off of this? How do I make money off of this? Because it's something that I love to do. And I'm just being use the resources that you got, and understand that grace comes to us in many ways. We are blessed with many ways besides money, okay? And besides the things that we may think we want, that may be the thing that is not in our highest interest. And so not getting those things serve spirit more than you getting them. So let's keep going. Affirmation. I am a resource of the eternally creating and sustaining spirit of life. All that I need to carry out in the divine plan is before me. That's a heck of an affirmation. And this is what the card speaks. I am the medicine woman. Through my choice of actions, I bring life to my people. Creator who lives within me has given me stewardship of that which I see before me. My tools are the stones, the earth substance, of which all things are made. The pipes, symbol of all channels of creative energy, including the body in which I dwell. The arrows, showing me the power of clear, one-pointed mind. And bowls, allowing me to offer my love and receive the blessings of those who come to share their gifts with me. I refuse to give my attention to things that limit me or deny my wholeness. To all life, I am connected. I understand the sexual flow within me to be the fuel of creation that can be channeled for those purposes. That's why you keep that pure, beloveds. It's not a toy. It's not something to disrespect. It's that energy, that sexual flow, that is the actual multiplying force of divinity. So you have to understand how sacred that is. And for your body to be the vessel that is used to have sex or to carry sex out, you must realize how potent that is. And that is not something to to play with. And that's why when we get into sexual relationships with other beings, we intertwine with them. Even when we so-called break up with them, or they leave, or they die, we still carry on a lot of their essence that's been deposited within our bodies through the magnetic fields, through the sexual contact, through the love, through the alchemy, through so many different ways, beloveds. That's why relating and relationship is very important. And it's something, it's sacred. And it's got to start being looked upon as something sacred, beloveds, not just something to get your rocks off or to transport you from one mood to a next, or one state of consciousness to another, or to put you to sleep so you don't have to think about stuff, or just an escape, or a rating system to say how many bodies you done slept with. These are all things of this day and time. And if you're falling into those traps, understand what's being sought. It's aspects of your soul that can be taken, that can be divided and subtracted from you, that can be stolen, that can be received, whether you know it or not. I understand the sexual flow within me to be the fuel of creation that can be channeled for those purposes I hold within my heart. I value this life force and direct it toward right relationship with all things, with all beings. I let go of those things I no longer value, keeping that which I love and for which I can care. These things then bring me comfort, support, and help according to their purpose. I possess only by nature of my caring. With my wealth, I support the things I believe in, the things that enhance life on my planet. I withdraw this support from those things and institutions that bring harm to living beings. All things are tools. All tools are magic wands that can create the world of my highest vision. I accept the powers within me. I am content with the tools that are before me. Within the great plan of creation, I trust that I am given what I can best use. My talent and inspiration combine with the material world around me in keeping with the ultimate balance of all that is. Self-questioning. Where do I spend my money? Are these the places I want to support? Do I give the gift of my sexual expression to the one I would like to become? You become that on which you dwell. Your money is energy supporting the world you choose. Sex and money are powerful energies. You will more thoroughly understand as you read the chapters on the four powers. Auras, the energy fields surrounding human bodies, begin to blend at deeper and deeper levels in a sexual encounter. Your destiny and that of your partner begin to combine. Are you giving this intimate gift to one you admire enough to become so entwined? Do you wish to accept this person's wholeness, to carry his or her pack on your back? Is your load lighter by the sharing? Those are some deep questions, beloveds. Those are the kind of questions that you ask rather than what is your favorite color? Or who is your favorite music performer? What's your sign? Am I your body type? Aura came up in the beginning of this video, beloveds. Like I said, this is so threaded, so wonderfully, divinely threaded, beloved, so sewn together by spirit. I am glad to receive it and share it, and I hope you receive it in all of its grace and gifts. And I hope you get as much from it as I am. Exercise. Begin to arrange your living quarters in the way that gives you power, getting rid of what you never use, allowing these things to fulfill your purpose of usefulness with someone else, and blessing the things that bring you satisfaction by your caring for them. Your home is your personal world of resources. It is your first level manifestation of power. Make sure it supports your true being. I have begun nesting. And since I've been here in this apartment, it's something that I haven't done, and I've been here, I think, about 3 or 4 years now. No, longer than that. Longer than that. I think I've been here about 7 years now. I don't know. But I've never nested. I've never made this my home. It's my living space. I'm here. But now I'm beginning to make it into a nest. A place that I like. A place that's comfort, the colors, and everything, the textures mean something to me. And it's not about a cohesive decoration to please somebody else's aesthetic. It's completely about me. And so, like I said, everything is everything, beloveds. Meditation. Imagine yourself as a medicine woman. See before you the 4 symbols of power. Your tools in the manifest world: a stone, a pipe, an arrow, a bowl. Lift them one at a time, and ask them to speak to you about yourself. Visualization. See yourself using one of your tools in a new way, perhaps in a way that you formerly felt yourself incapable. Feel the power of expressing in this new way. See others noticing and complimenting you on this new capability. Remember, your stone may be any earth object. Your pipe, something that is hollow, a hollow channel of energy, such as a flute, or your body. Your arrow can be focused thought. Your bowl is any container of your love and devotion. Astrological sign: Mercury. Colors: bright yellow. Oh, beloveds. Bright yellow. I just got me some bright yellow for my bathroom because I had been gifted a butterfly shower curtain with a towel. And so I wanted more yellow in there. And so I just got that. Bright yellow for mental concentration and alertness. Rose for feelings of universal love. Pale violet or silver gray, like the smoke from the sacred pipe, for spiritual upliftment. Rich reds and oranges for the clay of earth, to remind you of her beauty. And in the Blog Talk radio show, Silver Surfer came up. And that's the Silver Surfer of the Kundalini. And just so much is packed in this. The mysteries. The magician, the resourceful one, using the tools at hand, introduces us to the mysteries. The tarot is divided into two groups of understanding. The major arcana or great mystery, and the minor arcana or lesser mysteries. The major arcana are the prime spiritual forces in your life. The minor arcana are the four forces you must reckon with in your day-to-day life. The minor arcana I call the four powers. You will learn more about them as we enter that section of this book. They are represented by the suits of stones, pipes, arrows, and bowls. The resourceful one knows that these forces are powers innate to every human being. They constantly comfort us as challenges, and we deal with them by activating from within their corresponding powers. The major arcana or great mystery begin in us as a Basque life force, the desire to live. The life force blossoms into sexual energy and travels throughout our lives as creative expression. Eventually, this force takes us higher and higher and becomes identifiable as the spiritual force. The cards of the great mystery, the major arcana, show how this force carries us through life to our final enlightenment. The cards can also be read in relation to any one process in which we may be involved. In other words, they speak macrocosmically of the big picture and microcosmically of each little event through which we must pass. Our bodies contain several primary spiritual energy centers. These are called chakras. Though different religious systems assign different colors to each chakra, many agree on the following arrangement: violet, top of the head, crown; indigo, center of the forehead, third eye; blue, throat; green, heart; yellow, stomach area, solar plexus; orange, upper pelvic area, pancreas; red, base of spine, sexual organs; yellow, stomach area, solar plexus, bathroom. Each chakra relates to a level of consciousness. We pass through these levels of consciousness as our way of spiritual fulfillment. The level of consciousness where you spend most of your time depends on your spiritual development. It is possible to have peak experiences only because we do not always hang out at the peak. It is also possible to fall below one's usual state of consciousness. That's what we call depression, beloveds. For example, when you meant to act out of your heart center and ended up responding from your power center, your yellow chakra. It is not necessarily wrong to operate from a lower center at any given moment. Each center or chakra has important experiences to offer us. Each center or chakra has important experiences to offer us. Each center focuses our attention in a particular way. In general, the chakra centers of consciousness provide us with desires and motivations for certain kinds of experiences that will promote some aspect of our spiritual unfolding. Give me 1 second. Chakra type of focus: violet, seeing life from a cosmic perspective, visionary, mystical; indigo, intuitive, psychic seeing; blue, philosophical, speaking out, creative, conceptual; green, healing, honoring nature and all life forms, beginning of unconditional love; yellow, intellectual, personal empowerment, recognition of one's own worth. Aho, mama. Orange, social kinship ties, service to others, here and now conditions health. That is what the Aquarian age is. It is the rising from the root or the red into the orange. That is where we are at this particular phase, cycle, and season in our collective evolution as spiritual human beings. Orange, social kinship ties, service to others, here and now conditions, health. Red, survival, basic necessities, continuation of the species, ongoingness of life. That is what we are rising out of. At each level, sexual expression is occurring, but the experience of sexuality is different depending on the center from which you are operating. Crown violet, you see your partner as God and your sexuality as an expression of your devotion to the one. Third eye indigo, you have the ability to relate to your partner's high self. You are attracted to your vision of the other's aura or innermost being. You also want your true self to be recognized. Throat, blue, you are attracted by creative expressions, sound of voice, sensual music, lighting, aesthetics. You also want to be heard at a very deep and sincere level of your being. Heart green, you are attracted by consistency of love, ability to work through trouble spots, kindness, fairness, compassion. You very much desire romantic happiness because this is the first level at which you can see the possibilities for eternal love. Though it is here that your most difficult lessons about how to achieve it are learned. I hope I graduated from that spot. Solar plexus yellow. You are attracted by another's intellect or personal power. There's a feeling of admiration or awe. At the same time, you have a need to exercise your own power and realize your own qualities. Power plays and ego trips could be rampant here, but you could also respectfully bring out each other's unique powers. It is easy to be jealous or competitive here, but life will provide you with experiences so that you can get beyond these emotions. Pelvic, orange. You are attracted by emotional kinship, ease of relationship, affection, and social compatibility. You enjoy taking care of each other in a variety of ways. Family is a main focus. That is where I am currently. Base of spine, red. You are attracted by the basic polarity between self and other. You are acting instinctively out of the body's basic drive to propagate the species, to reproduce the self. This is your basic fire of desire, yet the flame must rise as your spiritual consciousness arises. Each level of sexuality has its supreme value. None of them is negative in itself. Yet, a person may become involved in negativity, self-doubt, or fear anywhere along the way. The tendency is, of course, lesser at higher levels. But at these levels, the desire to reach perfection can be a very hard taskmaker. So appreciate where you are. Enjoy it fully. Learn what you can. All experiences will be yours in time. The great mystery will provide every experience you need in order to move you along the path to spiritual and sexual fulfillment. As stated previously, sexuality, creativity, and spirituality are all overflowings of each other. The energy of life moves through your body and your consciousness, attracting you to the people and situations that will eventually bring out the best in you. Appreciate what each opportunity brings. Live each moment to the best of your ability. Thus does your ability grow. And beloveds, I am going to stop it there. Wait a minute. Okay. I will not stop it there. In terms of sexuality, the seed is your attractive power. There's a force within you that attracts the fool, seed. Within you also attracts you to others. You are drawn to those people, things, situations that have information you need in order to advance on your spiritual journey. Everyone, everything you are attracted to has the potential of bringing out some creative aspect of your being. The people and things you come into relationship with challenge or entice your inner being out into manifestation. Thus, every relationship reveals to you yourself and brings your talents to the world. You may have felt foolish at times when you wanted to attract someone to yourself. You had to take a risk, to put yourself out, to step off the cliff, to toss the seeds of self to the winds of fate. As the fool, you took steps toward that which was attracting you. It may not have turned out to be what you thought it would be, but it came to you in form sufficiently attractive to entice you forward into the lessons you needed to learn. You were fooled. You were fooled into your own growing. The fool in you keeps the life force flowing. The fool flirts with possibilities. And before you know it, you are so far that you have to utilize all your powers to realize that potential you initially imagined. The fool holds out a hope and a promise and does her best to make the trip enjoyable. The fool fills life with fun and desire. The fool opens doors and lets you fall right into the situations that will bring about your perfection. Fools fall in love, and in love, everything is possible. The magician's power is to realize that you have what it takes to attract everyone and everything you need. You have the tools at both hands to get love and to keep love happening. Sexually speaking, you have all the basic equipment right within your body and in your environment in order to make your fondest dreams come true. The power of life and creation flows through this body in the ways that you command through your thoughts and images. Your major tool in life is this sexual creative force. Your major lessons, all 22 of them, consist of learning how to use it. You also have 4 minor sets of tools or ways to meet your earth plane needs. The magician, resourceful one, using the tools at hand, is the master craftsman. When it comes to these earthly tools, that took me right to the Christ consciousness and Christ being a carpenter by trade. The earth, air, fire, and water are the elements she uses. These elements are combined in the 4 suits of the minor arcana: stones, pipes, arrows, and bowls. They are the medicine bag of the medicine woman. She magically arranges her life to suit her needs with the very same elements that puzzle and overwhelm others. With the life force, creative, sexual, spiritual energy that she embodies, she arranges her personal world or resources in a way that gives expression to her loftiest goals and most deeply held convictions. As you continue through the seasons to come, you will see how she, the medicine woman inside you, continues to enhance not only her sexual energy, but her creative abilities and her spiritual qualities as well. Take stock of your resources, accentuate the positive, and move on to the lesson of the seeker. And that is that card, beloved. And that is the end of this video. And I want to say once again, I have much to digest here. So much to digest. And that last card just really, like I said, really gives me so much bountiful resources to appreciate. So I hope it was as good for you as it was for me, beloveds. Um, Please leave comments or questions in the area. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification button so when I do give birth to new videos, you'll be the first one to be invited to the baby shower to see the baby, okay? And see what has come from me in spirit. So, again, namaste, beloveds. Be loved and be blessed. And I love you.